Hello my dear viewers, welcome back to Ruhoni Sewing. Welcome back to part 2 of this series of the Princess Seam skirt. And today we are going to sew a sample for our skirt. So for the purpose of our tutorial, I'm going to use these two fabrics. This top one and this plain one at the bottom. Remember we are sewing a skirt with different pieces. We have 7 pieces. And for these pieces to be seen clearly, I want to use these different fabrics. Okay, so here is our pattern. Okay, we have these side pieces pattern for the front as well as for the back. And I'm going to use this top fabric for these two patterns. And for our centerpiece pattern, for our front and back, I'll use this plain material. So here is our material, and on this side it is on fold, and we are going to start with our front pattern, which on this line here is going to be on fold. So we are going to turn our pattern so that this fold here is going to be aligned with our center fold. Okay, make sure it aligns well, and remember we are going to add seam allowance all around our pattern. So first secure your pattern well with a pin, okay? Then after that, cut your pattern. Okay, so after taking care of the front, now place your back pattern on the fabric and then cut your pattern. Remember, with our back, we have a lot of things to consider. The back pattern has a place for a zipper as well as for the vent, and on this side we left only 0.5 inches, but on that part leave 1 inch. Remember, that is your side seam. And for our front, we left here 1 inch side seam and 0.5 on here. So we are done with our center pieces. Now for these side pieces, first thing to remember is on this part here on the side seam we need to leave 1 inch, and on this side where it is going to join to the center piece you leave 0.5 inches. Now after adding the seam allowance, now cut your fabric, both of them, for the front as well as for the back. So here we are done with the cutting of the fabric. We have our back and our front side pieces. Okay, so here we have all our pieces. Okay, next we are going now to put the marks on our princess seam curve. Use your scissors, put a small cuts. Remember where we put the lines so that it is easier to join to the side piece. So this is our back center piece. Now let us look for our back side piece. Okay, now again put the marks so that when you are joining at the side as a princess seam, it is easier to join. Also put these marks for our front pieces, center and side pieces. So first let us take out the patterns. Okay, now open your front center piece like this, and then place the side pieces on either side of this center piece. Let me show you from a different angle. This is how it's supposed to look. And these are the back pieces. To clarify further, this is where our vent is going to be, and these pieces are going to be on fold on either side. Okay, so this is how our back piece is going to be. Okay, just like this. Okay, so now next, remember the marks that we have put on our center and side pieces. These the small cuts. Make sure they align well for the center as well as for the side seam, and then secure with a pin. Again, for this part here of the princess seam, these marks helps a lot when you are joining these two pieces. So attach the rest of the pieces. So after attaching, this is how it is going to look. Okay, Now continue with the other pieces. So after attaching these pieces with a pin, try to unstitch them, okay? Especially here at the curve. And then after that, sew all the pieces. A reminder, remember to double stitch when you are starting to sew, and also here at the hem, okay? Okay, so here is our skirt, okay? One of the pieces for the back, as you can see, perfectly done. But now to make the seam lie flat, we need to make small cuts, okay? All around the curved part of the seam. For where there's a straight line, we don't have to, but here on the curved path, we must make small cuts all around. Thereafter, iron your seam from inside and as well as outside. And when you are ironing, depending on where you want your seam to face, iron towards that side, okay? As you can see here, I'm ironing the seam towards the side piece of the skirt. Then sew decorative stitch on top of this seam here. These are the decorative stitches. I hope you can see them. Now it is time for the side seam. Make sure your pieces align very well, especially the side pieces, okay? And then you can start by attaching with the pins and then sew the side seam. Okay, so here we are done. As you can see, our side pieces align very well. Now it is time to take care of the zipper. Turn your skirt inside out and align the center back well. So this is where we are going to install our zipper, okay? So here I have already folded the center back line, as you can see here, okay? So here is our zipper, but remember, before attaching it, remember to leave some spaces here at the top of the skirt. So the amount of the zipper that you need to leave hanging at the top, depending on the width of your belt, whether you have a thick or the thin belt. Now let us start to attach our zipper.
Hello, my darling.
First open it.
How are you?
It seems it does not function well. So here I replaced our zipper. Now we are using the invisible zipper. I've already attached, as you can see here. Okay, so after attaching, you have to see, double check if it has been attached well. Okay, here all is well. And now you can, if you can just go straight and sew it from the machine. But for me, I always like to attach it first by the basting stitch and then sew. So here we are done. Now let us sew the zipper. Okay, my dear viewers, so here is our zipper. It is already done. On our next video, we are going to take care of the vent as well as the belt. Thank you so very much for watching. Hope to see you on my next video.